heart attack. Fast, fatal, heart impact. Past painful scars, in fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact, don't ask, grab reactions, jacked, attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new submerged juice. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now. Y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Now, before I do begin, guys, I do have something to say. Now, apparently I messed up. I believe I've been saying harmonic convergences every 1,000 years. Somebody corrected me and said it is actually every 10,000 years. Yeah. Sorry, I made the mistake and I didn't really think to look into it. I just assumed it was every 1,000 years, and apparently I was wrong. Now, thanks to the person who did correct me on that, but yeah. Now, I did just want to say that I was wrong about that, so let's go into the review and then continue with this part. Now, whenever we last left off, quite a lot of things were happening. We had Deku and, well, his situation. Deku, he basically got a confession from you in the last part. You wanted Deku to make a promise. Her people barely survived the last couple hundred years. Within the last 1,000 years, her people were almost wiped out. And then, due to harmonic convergence, there have been many airbenders in her generations, and the generations following. Her culture is thriving right now. But with this threat, her culture is in danger. Many are in danger. And the lives of every human on Earth is in danger. You wanted Deku to make a promise. However, Deku, he didn't really know how to do this. And you confessed her feelings to Deku. And after that happened, Deku the next day revealed his true identity. The real Deku told people what was going on. He addressed the organization and he addressed a friend of his named twice. And the world, they were alarmed to hear this, along with even seeing this. Now, the organization, yeah, many of their members immediately ran away. They were scared. If the Avatar, an attempt was made on his life and he ran, then it's very clear what's going to be going on. These people aren't who they say they are. And if the leader has been lying to them for their goals, what else has he been making them do? What else have they been lied to about? And Deku, at that current time, he got a lot of people to desert. And these people, they immediately started turning in the organization. Everywhere around the world, police departments and even pro heroes had to commit mass raids on areas they were told about. And Boomit, he turned himself in as well. He even stated that Haran was at his base, the one they were at. He was sitting there in handcuffs, trying to give them instructions on what to do. He even told them about how the copy of the Avatar was at that base. And if they are to go there, they need to go there and be careful. Because he is not somebody to mess around with. He is a very cut, dry, and serious person. Now, pro heroes, they were getting ready to commit the assault on All For One with Chizuki's help. Now, the heroes are basically trying to set All For One up. And the Chihazaikai, yeah, they are actually involved in this. Chizuki has been trying to turn his organization and actually get them a bit more to comply with heroes. While they do hate to play nice, they have been following orders. And right now, Deku, or Deku's counterpart, he is playing a part in this as well. He does have some vials of this blood. And right now, that blood, he does have the intention of shooting it directly into All For One, and many of the villains who are there. He even just said the idea that if he does encounter a copy of himself, to immediately go for an instant kill. Now, that is what that version of Deku is doing right now. And the real counterpart to Deku, he actually is heading towards the Northern Water Tribe. He decided that with the information he's given, he needs to head to the Spirit Well. If he can get there before Haran can figure it out, then he can actually start harmonic convergence. Or at least release the pressure that has been building between worlds. The worlds, it will be torn apart if he does not do this. The energy in between both realms, it has been ripping apart both worlds. And Deku, as he does head there, a lot of things happen between the Earth Kingdom, the fire, the water, and the air. Many of the places that are technologically advanced, they give a lot of information. In the Earth Kingdom, many people started giving reports, and a map started being made of the areas Dick was talking about. Areas where monsters have been sighted, they are marked as especially interested. And right now, the map, about 10 to 15% of the world has been considered hotspots for this sort of activity. And whenever Deku he is tracking that, he does somewhat feel a bit more relieved. The Earth Kingdom, they shifted their focus away from war, and they are taking the word of the Avatar more seriously, because a lot of these hotspots are in places they have lost contact with their citizens, their military, and, well, distributors. And there's even the Fire Nation. The Fire Nation, they thought the Earth Kingdom was retaliating, and while they were waiting for a hostile attack, they find many of these hotspots along their borders as well. Now, Deku, he does have a lot going through his mind, as right now, he actually is flying through the air and heading there. And we actually have both the girls and the guys. They're taking a boat and following Deku. And right now, Deku, he actually is trying to look out for any portals while he is in the air. Since if he does see any, then he wants to somewhat at least try to close them up. And they're actually when they do arrive into a town. Whenever Deku does come flying down, many people do come to greet him, since he's the man from TV. Now, many people, they do walk up towards him, and while some, they do appear hostile towards him, Deku does gotta bring his hands up, and basically try and tell them that he is not here for trouble. And many people, yeah, they want to know exactly what Deku was talking about. They heard what he said, and many people are concerned about spirits. Now, Deku, yeah, obviously he does try to somewhat calm their nerves. However, the panic, it has begun to start setting in around many people around the world. And these people, hearing about possibly being hunted down by spirits while a war is raging, doesn't sound too good. And Deku, while he does try to reassure them, he does pass through the area. And many people, they do stare at him along the way. As his companions, they also do somewhat get a stink eye. Them refilling up on supplies as they would go to head back out. This time Deku hopping onto the boat. As whenever he does so, he does get somewhat turn and look towards Rulin. Rulin, he's currently sitting down, and he is scrolling through a few things on a tablet. Hey, what are you doing? Not much. It's, from what I'm looking at, everything's getting worse. I've been trying to look at a bunch of stuff. Police reports, and the map they've been updating recently. You have. And what's the verdict? Not much is known about the organization, but whenever it comes to how infected or bled through, I guess, the world is, It looks to be almost at 20%. 20%? Yeah, that's bad. Many people, they probably weren't actively looking. And, well, I'm sorry to say this to you, but it appears like it appears that in the air nomad areas, there are some bleeding effects there. Many people never found them, but many people are also starting to massively search through the world. Hmm? They are? Yeah. The northern air temple and the eastern. There have been some portals found there. They're not massive per se, but someone claimed that a large creature attacked. A large creature? Yeah, yeah. It sounds bad. Now, you just gonna someone look down. As Deku, he does gonna turn to Rulin. Ask him exactly if the infection or the bleeding, it's bad there. It's not good, but I don't know. More data is coming in. It's too much. Every time the map is updated somewhere, it's updated somewhere else. Honestly, I'm surprised how many different people are chipping in now. Well, it's helpful, isn't it? Yeah, it is, actually. But still, what do you think is going to happen when we do this? I'm not sure. We still have to head down south. And if I open this portal here, Karnak, he'll know I'm in the north. And if he does still have Kirigiri's help, then things will get bad. I don't know. He might try to somewhat stay down south. There's too much going on. Now, Deku, he does try to at least stay focused. And he does go somewhat walk into the next room, as he does try to keep his legs planted to the ground. The boat is shifting, and while it is fast, it really is a bit too much. Now, whenever Deku does go to walk into a room, he does go to attempt to sit down. Him crossing his legs, as he actually is somewhat going to bring his hands up and pull water out of the air. Him attempting to freeze himself to the ground before beginning to meditate. Now, Deku, as he does begin meditation, he does start to focus. As Avatar Korra does begin to appear in front of him. And Deku, he does get to look up, without even opening his eyes. Avatar Korra? Yes, hello. I assume you're wanting to speak with me? Yes, that's correct. I have some questions. Please, can you answer some? Now, Deku and Korra, they begin a conversation. As the boat they're on, it is heading to its next destination. Right now, they have a vague idea as to which direction to head in, because there is a lot of spiritual activity in the Northern Water Tribe right around one particular area. And they're assuming this area is where the portal is in. And whenever the boat does go to dock at another place, hours later into the day, Deku and everybody they do actually go to head off. Since the area these portals are in, you can't really get there because of the frozen water. Now, Deku, after getting off of the boat, a few people they are looking directly towards him. The Avatar just walked off of a boat, and he's in the north. And many people they do stare at him. As Deku, instead of trying to hold his head high, he does get to somewhat look down and avoid eye contact. As many people, they do watch him. Deku, he does have his staff in hand. And after Deku he does get to turn around to greet his friends, he does try to tell them a few things. He's going to be heading out. And right now, whenever he does return, he's going to try and figure things out. What do you mean? I talked with one of my past lives. The portal. I have a good idea as to where it's at. It's hard to say, but it's gonna be a bit of a journey. It shouldn't take me more than a few hours or maybe even a few days, but I'll be back before then. Besides, the portals that I may encounter on the way, they're spirits. I need to deal with them. Now, Deku is going to turn. As somebody, they actually going to bring up their hands and begin to bend. And whenever Deku is going to take a step, there actually is where his left leg is completely coated in ice. Deku looking down before going to turn. Him turning to the right to see a police officer. You are not going anywhere. Who are you? I cannot allow you to leave. You may be the Avatar, but your crimes there, unforgivable. Deku is shifting his leg, as it does going to turn into ice, or the ice on his leg does start to turn into water. Deku looking back towards them, bringing his hand up and telling them, he understands that. He is not looking for forgiveness, but he is trying to save the world. If they try to slow him down, he will take them down. And if they don't get the warning the first time, the second time, he won't allow them to get back up. At least not as easily. Now, the person do gotta bring up their hands. As multiple police officers, they do gotta stand there with their ally. And Deku, yeah, he does see the men. And we actually have a couple who are walking by. These two were trying to solve their problems. I mean, everything they've heard and said, their names are connected to the Avatar. And these people aren't being looked at in the best light. And right now, they actually start to hear a situation, as a loud burst of flames can be heard coming from the docks. Some people are going to turn their heads, as there actually is Deku who's standing there. Deku sends out a powerful burst of flames, and with a single right hook, he actually just knocked a few of these police officers off guard. Some were able to dodge and evade. However, the moment they did so, Deku he simply just was able to turn and begin to start using water bending. And a lot of people are watching this. Deku, he takes out an entire squad of police officers. And there actually is where one, they are staying there before, the legs, they do somewhat go to start giving way. Them slipping on the ice underneath as Deku is standing directly above them. Him going to bring back his hands and the water behind him to start to form into spikes. Deku setting them flying out forwards before they do just stop in front of their face. And Deku, he actually go to somewhat pull them backwards again. Do it. I'm not going to kill you. I've told you. Taking you guys down was easy. You need better training. Now, I need to leave. I need to make up for this. Make up for it? Do you have any idea what you're doing? Any idea at all? You're going to end the world. Do you know what's going on? No, I don't. But this is all your fault. Because of you, your lives, every avatar in the past, any situation I've heard of in recent memory, anytime the avatar has been involved, they mess up. The one who did all this in the first place, they're gonna cause the end of the world. And you're trying to be a saint. But you're not. Deku turns to the man, and the man does stare at Deku. As Deku does tell the man, he is not trying to be a saint. If he wanted to be a saint, he would have tried to be good. But clearly that didn't end too well. He thought he did the right thing before, and so did the avatar who made the mistakes before him. However, that is a part of having the world on your shoulders. You learn from mistakes. And while you may not listen to your predecessors, you listen to what you've done before. And Deku is then going to ask the man a question. Can he honestly say he's never learned from his own mistakes? Can he honestly say that he hasn't learned not to be stupid? Now, the man is stare at Deku, as the two people do come walking over. And Deku, as he actually is going to somewhat bring out the hang glider, he does get somewhat turn, hearing a voice call out to him. Deku, freezing, as he's going to turn his head and see his parents. Mom? Dad? No. Deku's friends are all staring at that. And there actually is Koya. Koya is not going to turn her head to hide her face. And right now, Deku's mother just come walking up. And Deku's father, he does just stare at his son. As Inko, when she's come walking up, she has to go to look at Deku. Ask him exactly what happened to him. Mom, it's a long story. Now, Deku, he does gotta bring up his hand. He wants to apologize to her, and at least tell her that he messed up. However, Inko, she's gonna hug her son. And Deku, when this does happen, he just gonna bring his hand up. His other hand dropping the staff, as he's gonna hug his mother. Him apologizing to her. Now, Inko, after pulling back, she's gonna look directly up towards her son's face. And Deku, he does try to explain. Inko wants to know what happened to the scar, and why his face is so hairy. Now, whenever Sasha's come running up, you do actually have Deku is going to turn to his father. His father asking about exactly what's going on with the tattoos. Yeah, sorry. That's another story, Dad. Another story. You know, your mom never really did want you getting those air nomad tattoos. So you got those instead. Yeah. I got these from the Sun Warriors. The who? Dad, it's a long story, but let me just put it this way. I met a spirit, and they helped me along my journey. They guided me down the right path. And right now, the right path is telling me I need to open a portal. When that portal is opened, then a few things will happen. I don't know the full story, but what's going to happen will be huge. And honestly, I don't know. I mean, I've done a lot in this last year, Dad. And I've made a lot of friends. A lot of people I can trust. Deku turning. And whenever Inko, she's going to look towards Deku's friends, she does see all of them. And right now, she's going to somewhat bring her hands up and wave. As they do go to wave back. And Asashi, he does go to ask exactly if Koya is with them. Yeah, she is. She's a bit embarrassed. A bit embarrassed. So is she actually your girlfriend? Mom. It's just a question. Is she... Yeah. There's a lot going on with that. A lot going on? How so? Mom, I need to go save the world. Please stop. You're embarrassing me. Now, you do actually have Luna does someone go to walk up. And whenever she does so, she just gets someone to ask if this is Deku's parents. And Deku is going to turn. Him, at least expressing to his parents that this is Luna. His... well, one of his other girlfriends. Now, Hasashi and Inko do both somewhat freeze hearing that statement. Other? Now, Luna was going to bring her hands up, expressing to them. It's a little bit more complicated than that. I'm sorry. Isuku, what do you mean by this? Mom, okay. I can explain a few things whenever I get back. Okay, but this is Luna, and the other girl over there is you. She's an airbender, and Luna here's a firebender. I see. Okay, sorry, but I really do need to go. Deku turning. Him going to airbend the staff back up into his hand. Him going to fold it open as he's going to fly away. Deku, he is aware as to how dangerous this might be. He's attempting to open up a spirit portal. And from what he understands, he's about to go into the Arctic wilderness, where not only will there be countless spirits, if not possibly thousands, but there will possibly even be dangers he'll have to face alone. Now, Deku, he does fly into the distance. And right now, as everybody does go to watch Deku leave, Koya does go walking up to Deku's parents. And whenever she actually is going to somewhat pull off her hood, both Hisashi and Inko do go to look towards her. As she actually is somewhat going to look towards the ground, trying not to make direct eye contact with Inko. As whenever Inko does go walking over to her, she's going to bring a hand up to her shoulder and ask Koya exactly if she is feeling alright. I'm sorry. There's... I would like to apologize for a lot. Koya, you've done nothing wrong. Actually, I have. I made a lot of mistakes, but me and Izuku, we really were dating. We really did know each other, and, well, me and him, we do love each other. I understand that. And apparently my son has two lovely girlfriends. Now, you would go walking up, and whenever she does so, Inko does go to turn, as you just go to someone hold her hand, saying, actually, he does have three. Right. Right. So, how did all of you meet? I guess? It's a very long story, actually, Miss Midoriya, but it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Hugh. No. Inko, yeah. Right now, she's actually very surprised. And Asasi, yeah. He is both surprised and a bit proud of his son, because he actually does seem to have developed a bit. From what he understands, his son has been through a lot in life, and he's been trying to figure things out on his own. But now he's on his own way. His son is about to go save the world, and that would make any father proud. Now, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.